By the way, I was streaming
this meeting is being live streamed.
My Elden Ring game to my one Twitch subscriber, my coworker, so he could coach me through the game. And then Twitch sent me an email saying, "That's a great first step. Now do these." And one of them was stay on Twitch for 8 hours. I'm like, what? No, absolutely not.
Hello, live stream. Those who are watching right off the bat.
Don't forget to hit record on the audio, Stephen, as well.
Let's all. Yes.
YouTube is not updating live stream for me.
There we are.
Yeah.
There we are.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
Don't even have our faces on. We're all here because Chris has a new microphone. That's why we're doing this live stream today.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm copying this. There we go. As the lobby fills up, and we're back. That's exactly it. This is welcome to anyone in the UK. Hopefully, we usually do these in the middle of the night. Thanks, Chibnall. Right.
I just read the first comment yesterday, and we're back, and I'm like, what? That's very confusing. But it's yesterday. What's happening?
Yesterday. Yeah. Seems so far away.
It's a good line. You should work that into a song, like that fellow in that movie that I've never seen did.
He went back in time.
It's a fun film. It's a lot more enjoyable than the Bruce Springsteen version of it.
I didn't even know there was a Bruce Springsteen version of it.
Yep.
Is that a Danny Boyle film?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
I want to say no, but I'd have to look it up.
We'll look it up because now I'm curious.
Haven't even tweeted the link, and 19 people are live. Holy crap!
Good gravy.
My heavens.
What are you doing with your Sunday mornings?
Sunday afternoon for most people.
Well, yes.
4 a.m. in Australia.
Yeah.
Come on, Australia. If anybody Australian is on here, go to bed.
I always just assume that Australia is like whenever I'm up, Australia isn't.
It is a Danny Boyle film. There we go. Useless trivia confirmed.
There we go. Links posted. Hello, everyone.
Danny Boyle of the 2012 London Olympics opening ceremony fame.
And nothing else.
Those were heady days. That was like the beginning of the end for England, wasn't it? Everyone was on a high after the Olympics. There was Doctor Who's 50th anniversary, and then
Brexit.
Thanks for nothing, Large Hadron Collider.
One day it'll explode the universe. It'll get there.
Good.
Just hasn't yet.
And release us from this torture.
Yep.
My God, we've got Doctor Who, the Missing Episodes podcast on.
Where are they? Answer or leave.
It's got to be Tim. I've heard a rumor, by the way. I've heard a rumor about missing episodes, which I will not utter here.
Good. Enough of your Omni rumorings.
Have you heard it? Have you heard it, Tim? Have you heard the rumor? I've heard it.
The Space Pirates is coming back in puppet form.
If only. Don't tempt me, Frodo. There we are. There it is. Look at that. We're all live. Just now, folks, for those of you who have never seen a live stream of this, first of all, welcome.
Sorry.
Secondly, we've already been bantering for about an hour as we watch clips, as we get everything into order, as we talk off topic about things we hate. Most of them Star Trek related, apparently. But this is the part where, hey, we let the room fill up a little bit so everyone can sort of be, on board with the live stream, and then we'll start in a few minutes. So if you're wondering why are they talking about nonsense,
well, because it's the podcast. If you've listened to this before, we talk about nonsense.
Yeah.
Just wait for our Space Museum commentary, which is mostly videotaped banter, and Steven videotaped banter, not me, surprisingly.
Yeah. It is, Tim. I've heard all sorts. I know. I've heard one specifically this past week. Missing episodes I'm talking about. But cannot confirm or deny. And it's you've missed nothing yet, Dial Killer. We're just letting the room fill in, letting it circulate and percolate, so to speak, and is that a thing? I like that. I should use that more often. We're here to discuss the sad passing of Dennis Waterman, of course, wrote in theme tune to Minder, dead at the age of 74.
I've never seen
Singing
Minder.
The theme tune to Minder.
I only know him because of Little Britain, and that is enough.
Is Minder on BritBox? Because it seems like the kind of thing that should be on BritBox.
Well, in Canada, probably not.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I'm sure it is probably on in the UK.
Probably, yeah. So yeah, 4 a.m. yesterday because what is time? 4 a.m. Where is that? Where is here? Where's 4 a.m.? If I was to ask Google where 4 a.m. was in the world right now, somewhere it's 3 a.m. eternal.
Mm-hmm. And Justified Ancient Land of Moo. Yeah.
Someone is slipping on a banana peel over and over.
And somewhere it's 5:02 p.m. Everything happening at once.
Very interesting choice. Yeah, I love. I do kind of miss. I mean, this is the first Doctor since Matt Smith that I honestly haven't heard because I don't watch anything apart from Doctor Who, and so I hadn't heard of Ncuti Gatwa.
What had you seen Joe Martin do beforehand? I wonder.
Well, I mean, is the official, so not the official, but the current.
He rolled out in a regeneration episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Which I guess technically Jadoon kind of is.
I saw somebody remark that this is the first time since Tennant that we had such a low key thing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
And I couldn't remember. Like, was there any announcement, or did Tennant's face just show up at the end of series one?
Smith had a confidential, and then Capaldi had a big hoo-ha, and then Jodie had a trailer.
The Wimbledon thing for Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah, New Zealand. No, Tim, not even Jaffa Cakes. It's a different one.
Oh, God, just say it for God's sake. You're all itching to.
Not going to. Jaffa Cakes. Oh, gosh.
Not going to.
Everyone's heard that one, Tim. Come on.
I don't want to spread rumors. I want to spread that I know a rumor. That's what I want to spread.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
Yeah. So glad we could finally talk about this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've never seen Sex Education. I'm going to now. I'm going to watch my first Netflix. No, wait a minute. I watched the 2-part documentary on Jimmy Savile a couple weeks ago. That was my.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Oh, it was because I only like history, and I said, wow, a Netflix documentary, and it's only 2 parts. Obviously, it's not made by Netflix; it's bought by Netflix.
Yeah.
So I wanted to watch because it would have been a 6-part, stretched out extravaganza if it was by Netflix.
Hello, Audrey.
Oh God, that's Neil Perriman. Message retracted. That is a sign for the ages. Welcome, Neil. God, I miss Neil Perriman. Haven't seen you in ages, Neil. Didn't even see you when we went to the UK on both occasions. Given that you're all the way up in Newcastle, which might be more or less, you might as well be in Bulgaria because Englanders don't like to travel too much, but
you can probably get to France in the same distance between London and Hartlepool.
Oh my God, we got Huntington Beach, California. We've got New Zealand. I found out when a subtitle at work was prepping the ITV News. I love it. I found out when I woke up.
Yeah, same here.
I've been preventing myself from sleeping in all week, thinking that I would wake up and then there'd be the news. And I thought, well, they won't do it now. They won't do it, and they did. They did it right in the middle of the night for us, basically.
Yep. I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and check my phone, and boom, it was like 2 minutes after all the.
Oh, really?
The stuff hit.
Wow.
Yep.
I just
and I texted you guys at 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, are they gonna get mad? No, not about this.
No. Normally, yes, but no.
Also, we're not going to be woken up because as a podcaster, I haven't had the ringer of my phone turned on since
I don't.
2012.
Oh no, yeah.
I have a HomePod Mini that turns on CBC Vancouver. I have an expensive alarm clock, is what I have.
What is CBC Vancouver's take on the new Doctor announcement?
There hasn't been one.
Okay.
You'd be shocked to know that nobody cared at 5:30 or whatever it was, 7 in the morning.
Yeah, 4th Scottish Doctor Who. The Caledonian Mafia is at play.
Hold on, 4th. So we got Capaldi, we got McCoy, we got I guess Tennant. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, that little known guy called David Tennant.
Yeah, because
I always forget he's Scottish because
never heard of him before, and you'll never see him on the show again.
I wonder if David Tennant when he comes back to play the role will be a Scottish Doctor Who. Maybe he should be.
He's supposed to be wearing a different suit. So
He's supposed to be wearing a different suit. We'll talk about that during the live show. Anyway, hope everyone's here. Look at that. We don't even. Oh, I didn't even put the hold music on. 1 second. Jeez, this is what an amateur production.
Come on.
There we go. There's some nice
Get it
waiting
together, girl.
music. Yeah. While we wait for, you know what? We got like, it's funny. We still have about the same amount of people who usually tune in for our episode reviews, which are like in the middle of the night for the UK. So you know, you can't. That's the thing with an international.
What I like
show
about your
like Doctor
background,
Who.
Steven,
Yeah.
what I like about your background is that Ncuti looks perpetually disdainful at whatever you're saying.
Probably.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
and Russell looks like he wants to deck you or something.
I'm
Well-
sure that's gone on for a long time. That feud
Yeah.
has long been simmering
It has gone on a
in
while.
Steven's head.
What's this one? If I changed my light to match a little bit, I like that one a little better. All right. Yeah, it is. It is. I'm intrigued to see what kind of new fans it'll bring in. Anyway, I suppose I should probably at some point start this sucker. We still
Yeah.
intend to drop this thing in an hour and 48 minutes, if you can believe it. This is how this
Mhm.
show is. You are seeing how the sausage is made.
It is barely. There you go. That's how
It
it's
is
made.
essentially a Doctor Who episode directed by Mervyn Pinfield. There are no recording breaks whatsoever. We just go. So yeah, I think we've got
I'm
enough
hit-
people here to
I'm hitting
start
record.
things.
Here we
Let's
go.
all hit record on our very. You don't have to. Audience listening at home, you don't have to do that.
But if you
We're
find a
doing
way
here.
to do it,
You can film yourself nodding in
Yeah.
agreement or shaking your head like this.
Yeah, there's me adjusting my levels.
That's me clearing my throat.
Dave. Here on Dave. We're doing it live.
Has Dave ever actually even had that advertisement?
No,
I didn't
I'm
think so.
hoping. I'm hoping that listener David Whittam is listening, so I can annoy him with my British accent, Dave.
He's my dolly pipeline, so thank you, David.
Oh, is he? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's my secret source for good dollies.
All right. Well, here we go, folks. Let's do a podcast.
Let's do the time warp again.
Here we go. And begin.
Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 851. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
I'm Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
And here, okay, folks, this is it. Emergency podcast disguised as regular episode. Thank you, Russell the Davies, for acquiescing to our whims and
Yes, absolutely.
announcing this well in advance of our regular recording time of Ncuti Gatwa, announced as the new Doctor Who, which happened at the BAFTAs this morning for us, earlier in the afternoon in the UK. He was apparently cast back in about February. He was introduced on the red carpet along with Russell the Davies. And yes, of course, obviously the first non-white actor to appear regularly in the role, not just Captain
Regularly,
Joe
yes,
Martin at
exactly.
all here. But curiously, not announced as the 14th Doctor.
Oh, God.
Sources still...
Yep.
Sources still indicate
keep clinging,
that
keep clinging to that rumor.
sources still indicate that that David Tennant and Catherine Tate will be in back for about 3 specials to kick off the 60th anniversary.
Why?
Well, I don't know, Warren. I don't know. That part has not been announced. Let's not diminish the impact of Ncuti Gatwa,
Yes, let's not.
who you might have seen in Sex
As-
Education. I haven't, but
As it sort of overrides the fading spark of Jodie Whittaker's era.
Wow, that went negative. Anyway,
Well,
this guy seems perfectly charming. That's all. I've never seen
yes,
him in
he does.
anything.
Yeah.
But from the BAFTA interview, I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, this guy seems like he
You'll-
certainly seems excited for the role. So,
You
and
you
he's
will see
29,
him.
which that's disturbing. He's born in 1992. I am very old.
You'll see him in the Barbie movie, Warren, I'm sure.
I will not be seeing the
Yeah.
Barbie movie. We were saying off mic, or at least I was, that Greta Gerwig, who's like known for really good independent films, Margot Robbie, an excellent actor, and this guy, presumably also an actor, they do all this work to be in a movie about Barbie. Okay. Or Transformers. Take your pick of nonsense
There you go,
toys.
Transformers. Listen, they made cartoons about it.
I'm
which
just
are
saying
shoo-
Hollywood likes to take everything good and make it awful. So there.
Right, which they're shooting right now. They're shooting the Barbie movie right now, apparently, and Ncuti was in that. Chris, have you seen Sex Education at all? That's what most people know him from.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'll be
Not
watching
yet,
it too.
exactly. Yeah,
It's been on the list for a very long time, regardless. So I guess it might just get moved up the queue a little bit now.
yeah, me too.
I mean,
yeah,
for Jodie Whittaker,
uh-huh.
I think the only thing I knew her in when she was announced was Attack the Block. So
New Attack the Block.
there wasn't
Oh, that's
there wasn't
true, yeah.
much I'd heard of.
I
or
didn't watch
much of hers
Broadchurch
I've
because
seen.
seemed
Yeah.
like I would get depressed, and I didn't want to get depressed about a new doctor. So
Yeah, this is the first Doctor since Matt Smith that is completely unknown to me. Which, for someone who's
Yeah.
only watched Doctor Who is quite a coup. Like I knew who.
not really a coup since you don't watch anything but Doctor Who, and he wasn't
I
in it
know.
until now.
Like, well, I not only did I know who Peter Capaldi was, I desperately wanted it to be the Doctor, and then he was, and therefore I feel like I'm not owed anything anymore. Despite being a white male Doctor Who fan, I feel like everything is owed to me. But no, I don't have everything owed because I've got Peter Capaldi, and then I knew who Jodie Whittaker was from Broadchurch, but I have no idea who Ncuti Gatwa is in terms of anything. And he actually he's been in Sex Education, he's been in a couple other things, but like he's been in theater a lot. Came in on the last day just to counterpoint Matt Smith, who was third on the list on day one, and blew everybody away. And they kept auditioning other actors and thinking, "Oh, it's Matt Smith, isn't it? It's him." Well, they had someone lined up. They had someone in mind to be the new Doctor Who. And then here comes Ncuti Gatwa on the last.
I just have
day.
this image of Hugh Grant at home smashing the furniture. Ah, it could have been me.
Yeah. So it's exciting, and there he. I mean, he's looking very, very resplendent in his outfit on the BAFTAs.
That should be his doctor outfit, as far as I'm concerned.
My heavens, yeah, I know. Good.
That or the
looking man,
Speedo
this
from his
Ncuti Gatwa.
Instagram.
Yeah, his Instagram's very interesting as well. So that's interesting.
He should be. He's a very attractive gentleman. He should be.
Attractive gentleman.
He should be proud of that, and I'm sure he is.
Yeah, I really hope that. I'm looking forward to the costume. I'm looking forward to what he does as the Doctor. I'm looking forward to what his TARDIS team will be. All these things will happen in like 2 years' time. So good. We'll be speculating about it for quite some time.
Oh
We got
God,
almost
great,
about a year.
wonderful.
Well, we got a year and a half roughly. If it's November next year, that
Before
we
it disappears from the live stream, I want to highlight Neil Perryman's comment. That rumor is pants. I'm using that for any and all rumors from now on, including
Yeah.
this one.
Warren mentioned another thing about how he's only 29. That doesn't seem too young at all. That's actually older than Matt Smith was when he first took on the role. What's concerning to me is that he was born in 1992, and that doesn't feel like that long ago.
That's
so
wrong.
No.
I'm more disturbed with the fact that 1992 is 29 years ago. Well, 30 if you look at it.
I mean, that's disturbing. Yes.
That is quite disturbing. So
I'm against it. I'm against the passage of time
yeah,
as it relates to me.
we've been sort of watching various interview clips from BBC News. Lizo Mizimbo was interviewing both Ncuti and RTD on the red carpet, and I loved how when Lizo Mizimba asks Ncuti Gatwa about like, are there any doctors you want to model on, and Russell goes, he just sort of like. I don't know about that question. I don't know about this question. And then once Gatwa starts answering it, yes, there we go. Okay,
He's very diplomatic in his answer.
I know, but he's almost like you could tell RTD's hand is sort of helping him through this, and sort of you're going to be marvelous and stuff. But I'll be here to support you and stuff. Like he didn't seem overwhelmed by anything, because it is a massive.
Yeah,
thing,
because this life has completely, just like Jodie and all the other ones, I suppose, except maybe Peter Capaldi, because he's a little more famous to begin with. His life has completely changed at this point.
Yep,
and he's 29. That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
So very exciting news. We're doing this on a live stream, folks. Those of you listening to the podcast later on won't know this, but yes, he's younger than my stepdaughter. So there's a lot of us olds who are like confirmed that time is passing us by.
Not your stepdaughter. Let's point that out. That's a comment from the live stream.
Yeah. and everything else. Yep. Anyway, I think I'm seeing a lot of. I mean, it's great. I love that the BBC Twitter account is even in on it, because there was a person said something. I don't have it in front of me. Basically, oh, you know that all of us, a black writer I think posted. You know, all of us are going to watch this blue phone box show now. And the Doctor Who Twitter account quote tweets that and says, "Oh, I guess we have to name it the Blue Phone Box Show." In our Twitter account
I'm totally
now.
for this. I want to see
And
that.
they did.
Just call
Yeah.
it the Blue Phone Box.
And they did. I feel like there's a changing of the guard in the promotion of the show already. So
In that, there's promotion of the show.
yeah, you know what? I mean, not to diminish from Ncuti Gatwa's appearance on the red carpet, but there's Russell T Davies, as Warren was saying before we recorded. The showman returns. You know, like it's kind of.
It can be annoying, but he's very good at this.
He's very good at it.
It's mostly annoying in print because cloying praise sounds in quotes worse in print than it does when he actually says it.
Yeah, but I hear his voice whenever I see a quote, thanks to Doctor Who Confidential. I always just sort of like imagine Russell the Davies saying it all. So there we go. Surely, yeah, I'm sure. Neil Perry. God, it's good to have
Also,
Neil Perryman.
I'd like to point out we have a bunch of infants in the live stream. Everybody's like, he's older than me. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
God.
I know.
That's enough. That's enough, youngs.
That's great, though. That's great. Honestly, I love it. I love the fact that this show, this crusty old show that we've watched since we were in our single digits in age, is still a vital and exciting part for a lot of people who have a new Doctor who is older than them, and he's 29. I love that.
And as alluded to by that tweet you referenced, this will be a lot of people's first Doctor.
Yeah, it's always exciting. It's always exciting when someone is someone's first Doctor,
And we shouldn't downplay the fact that this, Joe Martin being introduced sideways into the show, side-loaded into the show, essentially, aside, this is a big deal. Like, it's good to see this kind of representation finally I guess it will be 60 years by the time he's the Doctor.
Yeah, I know that's exciting bit. And it hasn't been like the focus either. Like it's just sort of been like a finally thing, and like I don't know. It was time. It doesn't seem like a surprise. It just seems like now
exactly.
Time,
it just seems perfectly normal, but it is, honestly. So
it absolutely is. And an actor that I don't know anything about, and so once again we have the few. God, we've seen out so many Doctors on this podcast. It's amazing.
The lack of knowledge of his work is, at least at this point, good, because it's really exciting. We can go into things until we binge watch whatever we can of his.
Yeah, but
we can go into things with no
fans.
We can go into things with no we can go into things, Warren, with no preconceptions, and just take away what we're supposed to take away.
Yeah.
But Doctor Who fans being Doctor Who fans, there will be preconceptions. We got a whole year for people to cook up nonsense.
Oh, probably. Like I remember when Eccleston was, we got our first shot on set of Chris Eccleston, and he's wearing, a leather coat and pants and boots and stuff. And I think, oh wow, this was just me, Eccleston, walking to the wardrobe department to go put his flamboyant Doctor Who costume on, and that's his costume. Okay, that's interesting. So, like, what will be Ncuti Gatwa's costume? I have no idea. This is one thing I always wonder about what the Doctor will look like.
I expect that it's going to be like other Doctors, where whatever is picked is going to be something we see all the time. So, like, we saw like minor variants with Jodie Whittaker's costume. So, like the purple shirt or the blue or the whatever.
Right.
And then Tennant had the brown suit, the blue suit, but it was all variations on a theme. And
it won't be like the classic show because none of them have ever been. None of the new ones have ever been anything really.
Well, we see more variety in the reboot and in the new series than we did on the old, with costume variations.
The old show, I guess it wasn't that much more bold because the first two weren't all that bold. But anyway, yeah, it's not going to be as standout-ish probably, because the new ones never are really.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know who the costume designer even is. I don't. That part I haven't seen.
Ray Holman still around? Or?
No, I don't think Ray Holman. No, he's done. He's done with Doctor Who. I definitely saw him tweet that. Says no, I'm out. Or was it in Doctor Who magazine? No, it's not Ray Holman.
Okay.
Who else was costume designer on Doctor Who in 2008? Since they're bringing everyone from there back, but
Let's bring back what's her name?
June Hudson.
June
Hudson returns.
She's still kicking around. She's doing the Blu-ray behind the sofas. So
right. Yeah. So there we go. We are already talking about new costumes for the Doctor.
and shoehorning in classic stuff for no reason.
Yeah. It's
will he wear a hat, do you think?
Thor 1160 makes a good point.
Doctors
That
haven't worn a hat
maybe
for-
the first Doctor whose first exposure to the show is the new series or the TV movie as an infant.
Yes, yeah. I don't think he remembers the TV movie when he was 4 years old.
Probably not.
I don't think he remembers.
Maybe
that.
though. Who knows? Could be.
Yeah. We were also discussing he is 5'9.5". So after a run, apart from Jodie Whittaker, who is 5'5", David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, all around 6 feet. We have a shorter Doctor now. Our
Good.
thoughts on
Finally
a
some
shorter
representation
Doctor
from my end of things.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. I mean, does that? I'm always fascinated with how British casting is compared to American casting, because British. I remember as Ricky Gervais talking about how different things were in the UK than it was in America when they accepted an award. I think it might have been an Emmy for The Office, the second season of The Office. And they all walk on stage, and like Stephen Merchant's like 6'7", Ricky Gervais like 5'8". Like everyone is this. They look like the Munsters essentially walking.
Well, that's like normal people, is what you're saying.
Varied heights. Whereas America,
desperate.
it's like there you go. They're like there's basically a compression filter on American casting where everyone is about the same height.
Imagine being the casting director for a Tom Cruise film, where I think nobody's allowed to be taller than him, and he's
like
5 foot.
Well, how about Eyes Wide Shut, where Nicole Kidman is like 6 feet something? And
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Like
There's a lot of
everyone's-
trickery happening there.
Everyone's in forced perspective. So like I wonder how many companions will Shooty Got Was Doctor have? Will it be one? Will it be two?
Mandip Gill had implied that her time on Doctor Who may not yet be done. I'm sure it's rhetoric, but nevertheless,
Yeah, it's always rhetoric.
I think she might be back.
No, I don't think she will be.
No, I think she's like most companions, not going to carry over. I guess, Clara. Why can't I remember?
Jenna Coleman.
Thank you. Jenna Coleman did, but that was more or less by design.
Yeah.
Which this could be too. Also, Mandip Gill has been with the whole run of Jodie Whittaker's
Yeah.
Doctor, so
Remains to be seen, and we have one episode left. This is the problem with not only a switchover of doctors, but of entire eras of the show. And this is the biggest change, going from just BBC Studios to Bad Wolf being produced by an independent in association with. Is that now it's like, wow, new Doctor, Russell the T Davies and everything else, and like we're all sort of looking forward to the future, but we have one more episode to go of Jodie Whittaker's era, and it's just it's hard. Excuse me, it's hard to have it not feel like an afterthought. It's
but that's
always
every
been that
Doctor's
way.
been like that.
It's
Every
always been
Doctor
that
has
way.
felt like that.
But
Yeah.
by the same token, we're still 5 months away from this episode. So,
Oh yeah.
and it's not like they're going to start opening. It's not like they're going to start divulging much about it that we haven't already seen. We'll get bits and pieces as time goes on, but it's a little early for too much, and so you can't not have that kind of effect.
No, but the previous guard has moved on. Like how I feel like it. They're
Or
what's
sorry
that?
to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Think of Peter Capaldi. So Peter Capaldi's half-hour BBC show was what, June, July?
August 4th.
August 4th?
2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have him show up in Day of the Doctor. A very, very brief cameo in Day of the Doctor.
Briefly, yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to get Shooty in, the centenary special because they wrapped last October or whatever. But there's sometimes
Blue
they've
screen
used,
him in.
sometimes they've used that transition to positive effect.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking when Capaldi left in Twice Upon a Time, that was very much a coda. I felt to Capaldi's time on Doctor Who, and indeed Moffat's time on Doctor Who. The end of time, by about 15 minutes in, I was just thinking I just want to get to Matt Smith, and we did. So I don't know.
Best part of it at a time. Yeah.
It is, and so now we're in sort of this limbo phase where the the most recent Chibnall outing has not been that well received or enthused about, and we're just kind of like, well, let's get this over with.
It's hard.
Yeah, but think about what we're gonna get with all the characters we're getting on top of being regeneration episode. So I think
It's
there's gonna be
also-
anticipation regardless.
It's also tough to be enthusiastic this far out. I mean, hype and whatever can only last so long.
That's true.
And,
Yeah.
and we had we all got amped up by the trailer at the end of Legend of
Exactly.
Sea Devils, so that helps a bit. But that's had a couple weeks now or a few weeks, and it's waned. It's definitely waned.
And you're not going to get any promotion because
not this.
Chip-
No, not
so-
not at this point. No.
No.
Maybe they'll take down the social media again. We'll see.
Hey, it won them
Did
an
they
award.
win a Webby? Did they? No, they got
Bravo.
No, was it
not
Bravo
win?
indeed.
Okay.
Did they
I
win a
don't know. I
Webby?
thought they
I don't
won.
know.
I
I
thought
don't
they
know if
won.
they won it.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know if they won a Webby.
It's silly either way.
Yeah, I agree. It is done.
Here's something to talk about. Back to Ncuti Gatwa, the doctor, is that I like the low key nature of the announcement. It's I don't know where else they could have gone after a special edition of Doctor Who Confidential where Matt Smith sort of just pops in halfway through. By the way, he's the new Doctor. To Peter Capaldi live TV special during the 50th anniversary year. To a special shot scene for Jodie Whittaker during Wimbledon.
Yeah.
We're kind of just back to. Oh, by the way, he's the Doctor. We announced
A
it on
trailer would be
Instagram.
cool.
No, I kinda like it.
But
I
it's
like
It's
it.
not the end of the world.
I think it's a good way to sort of yep, here's a new Doctor. Like it's I mean, if we're casting back to how RTD did it in the olden days, Tennant was just like basically a press release, April 16th, 2005, I want to say the date was. Oh, by the way, David Tennant's the new Doctor, just so you know, announced at a BBC website, that you might get if you're on dial.
And given how little publicity anything gets now, this does feel like fanfare, frankly.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, plus, I mean, we get to meet him. That's the thing. Like, it's like we're seeing interviews with him and stuff, and it's not as, we see this specially shot thing and we have to speculate. We're just like, we're meeting the person, the actor first before we see anything about who his Doctor is going to be. And I like that again. I mean, not to, because I really loved the Jodie Whittaker reveal, and it was such a momentous reveal that the first woman Doctor, that I think you sort of needed the build up to it, which was great, and the reaction to it was fantastic. And I don't think you could have replicated that or anything. So I'm interested by the low key nature of this. Like I was, the whole week waiting for news to happen, essentially, and like waking up, nothing yet.
Well,
and even then, even when I woke up today, I was thinking, I'm just bleary eyed, like at 8:15 in the morning, going, what's going on here? Anything?
Well, didn't
happening?
RTD preface this with the 2 hearts and a blue square emoji on his?
No,
his
that
Instagram?
was Ncuti.
Oh,
RTD,
right,
com-
okay.
Instagram.
RTD
Yeah.
commented on it saying the future is now,
Okay.
or the future is nigh, or something.
Yeah.
I've got it on.
I'm pretty sure
open on my-
RTD said to him, "Okay, now you can put this out." Like,
Yeah.
Or somebody at the BBC did, or
yeah.
And then I think there's like half an hour or so before the formal press release, so there's enough time for people to start speculating, and then the formal news hit.
Yeah.
But the link is in the show notes, Warren, as to shooting
yes.
Gatwa's Instagram post with that.
Well, I've got months and months to watch it over and over because that's all we're gonna get.
Yeah, I've got months to watch there. There's in the show notes in radiofreeskaro.com there's an interview from 2020 that he did for Netflix, basically choosing his 9 favorite Netflix shows. I think old Friends and old Seinfeld episodes were 2 of them.
The one they canceled. Oh, which one's that? Well, all of them.
I'm looking forward to watching that. I am looking forward to watching Sex Education because I just want to see him in the role. I'm sure he's probably in a supporting role because Gillian Anderson's the lead of that, from what I understand.
Yeah, and I think her son in the show is like the other lead. I think I could be getting this very wrong.
Sounds about right from what little I know. Yeah.
I don't know anything, folks. I watch rally car rollovers right now. That's my main watch.
What are you talking about?
Just because I'm dumb and I just watch things that make me laugh and not.
I was gonna say, are you from the American South? But you are from Alberta, so you might as well be from the American South.
Don't ask me why.
Start a Duck Dynasty marathon while you're at it.
Please don't do anything like that.
Ever watched the show House? House had
Nope.
with Hugh Laurie. He was a doctor, a very cantankerous doctor, somewhat Peter Capaldi-ish. Anyway, one of his character quirks that he loved monster truck rallies, and I always thought that was amusing to me that such a person would love monster truck rallies. Well, rally car rollovers is my monster truck rally. Okay.
Wow, you're a bundle of surprises, Stephen. None of them good.
I surprise myself sometimes, but I will. I do want to check out Ncuti Gatwa in Sex Education, and maybe even a Barbie. Who knows?
And
It'll be
maybe
their
even a
opening
rally
day.
car rollover. It's just his unknown, but to us, that's his hobby, rolling over rally cars.
I mean, I never watched Party Animals, which was the only thing that Matt Smith was really in before he was Doctor. Apart from that one or two episodes of what the Ruby Smoke with
Ruby and the Smoke, and he was
Ruby and
also
the Smoke.
in Secret Diary of a Call Girl.
The Call Girl.
I saw a clip of Party Animals, and he didn't say a damn thing. And I was like, well, this is not telling me much of anything. Okay.
Well, Party Animals was a show that we aired at the TV station I worked at the time, and I didn't have access to the my only the TV network that I was working on. They didn't actually
work for
give
a
us.
premium channel.
Yeah, it says, oh, you didn't even give it to us. Just wondered why I got let go from that place. Didn't have the money.
Well, it was poorly managed, so that's right. I said it 10 years.
That's
later.
true, but I didn't even watch the show because I had no way to watch it, and so I never watched anything from him going in, and just was astounded by his doctor. And so now that I'm thinking about it, do I want to watch Sex Education to see what he's going to be? Because here's
the answer to this, completion man. Like, of course you are.
This is the breaking news: is that actors tend to play different roles based on the show that they're in. And so the role that Ncuti Gatwa played in Sex Education might not indicate what his approach to the role of the Doctor.
Doctor Who fans will immediately imprint whatever the last role. Like Peter Capaldi, 100%. Everybody thought he'd be swearing like crazy for no good reason after Thick of It. Because that's all they had to work off of. But it's still dumb. It's still a silly thing we all do.
See, at the time, I hadn't yet seen Thick of It, but I had seen Peter Capaldi on Skins.
I didn't see him there. I saw him, of course, in Tortured Children of Earth, which is why I wanted
Children
to be
of Earth, of course,
and Fires of Pompeii to a lesser extent,
which is great.
Because I remember being blown away.
Those are a given, but
So I'm gonna have to seek him out, and maybe just get an idea of what this new Doctor Who for a new generation is going to be like. But I'm looking forward to it. So there. Any further notes on Ncuti Gatwa as the new Doctor Who?
No, I hope for the best, and I'm probably gonna get it. He seems like I saw somebody say he has charisma for days, and that pretty much what little impression I have is that he seems like a very charismatic guy.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's never seen Doctor Who. I hope he's barely seen it, and that he just sort of comes in completely fresh, and just knocks just like Matt Smith did.
Well, even at 29 years old, I mean, the show's been around long enough that he could have seen lots of it, or
none of it.
It just passed him by.
This may come as a shock to you guys, but not everybody cares about this show.
No, I know. Alarmingly enough. No.
Some people care about it too much.
Yes,
you're looking at him right now.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So there, I haven't even opened up all my news links. That Chris does the drafts, by the way, and then we also contribute to our news list. There's behind the curtain and stuff. I haven't even opened all of them. Let's see, what do we got? We did Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor. Got that. His Instagram post with the 2 hearts and the blue box. It took me way too long to get what the blue square meant, because I saw blue square, not blue box. The interview is in there, a Netflix thing. Okay, I think we covered it all for now.
Yep, we got it.
There,
ladies and gentlemen, we got it.
We got it. Now the rest of the
we
episode.
Talk about COVID.
Yeah, hooray!
COVID. If anybody wants to bail on the live stream now, we've got our regular episode to go.
Oh, COVID update! I am now COVID free. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you, rapid test.
Well done.
Way to go, immune system.
Yeah.
And
way to go with 3 shots. Exactly.
Yep.
3 shots. Get your vaccination, people. I'm sure everybody on this live stream.
Yeah, I know. But... I walked home from a thing on Saturday night and it was a bit cold, and I got a bit of a chill, and I'm still feeling it. And I was a little bit concerned because I haven't had a chill in like 2 or 3 years. And then I tested myself this morning and I'm fine. So vaccines work.
Yes, they do. Honestly, I didn't even feel that sick. I mean, it varies person to person. I don't want to downplay it for anybody else, but I personally didn't feel all that sick. I felt when I got the vaccination essentially, which presumably means it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, Erica did too. For what she felt worse when she got her first AstraZeneca shot than she did when she had COVID.
Yeah, that was worse than this. So
yeah. Why do we bring up COVID? Because the UK is relaxing COVID production protocols. Social distancing optional buffets. That's the big news. The buffets are back. Chris, I want to bring up a comment that you see, a joke that you mentioned in the chat with us a couple days ago, is that even COVID restrictions were waiting for Chibnall to leave.
That is pretty good, I gotta say.
I guffawed at that. In some ways, it almost feels like COVID is to Chris Chibnall leaving as like the Iranian hostage crisis was.
Wow, that is
Jimmy Carter.
One of your stretches. I gotta say that.
But you got it though, Warren. You exactly.
Of course
knew
I
what
did, because I'm a million years old and a news nerd. But I mean, come on, man.
The Chibnall era will forever be defined by COVID.
Yeah,
it will be. It's not really his fault, to be fair.
No. But I mean, just the timing of it it just messed with his era so much.
It really did. I've compared Chris Chibnall to the Graham Williams of modern Who, and that like basically like inflation and everything else runs rampant, and just completely hampers his his entire era, and it ends with a strike canceled episode and stuff.
Well, to go back to the rumor train, rumor has it that filming might start as early as tomorrow for Doctor Who. Which I mean, if Gatwa is recording the Barbie film, and I don't know how true that might be. Or
I wonder if part of this reveal is because of that. It's like, well, we're gonna be filming outside, so we're gonna have to reveal this.
Well, yeah, I mean, as Neil Perriman mentioned in the live stream chat, like this feels a little forced, the introduction of him as the Doctor. So if they are starting filming tomorrow, as rumor has it, or if something else, like if the Sun was going to leak it or whatever, then it makes sense that we got as low key a thing as we did, because there's no time to prep anything else. But and I completely forget where I was going with all that.
While you're thinking about that, Neil Perryman, ray of sunshine that he is, says, yes, everyone lost their sense of taste during this era. I'm like, oh, is there a hidden meaning there, Neil? I wonder.
But if filming does begin tomorrow, then that's with these COVID restrictions lifted, that already dramatically changes the complexion of how they're going to do their filming versus what the last couple of years involved with Whittaker and Chibnall.
Still, they all come down with COVID, because we're not out of this yet, people.
Yeah.
Expectations are it's going to be, by the end of the year, it's going to be hell again. So,
well, we'll see. But yeah, the indication is that shooting is indeed starting tomorrow. Whether that's what shooting Gatwa's Doctor or not, since he is, as I say, shooting Barbie right now. So read into that what you will. That maybe they're just shooting plates. Maybe they're just shooting. Maybe they're pointing an analog camera against an analog monitor and creating visual feedback for the new Doctor Who opening.
Weirdly enough, the new paradigm dialects are back. Who saw that coming?
Possibly, but so yeah, apparently starting to and COVID restrictions are minimized in the UK. So because we beat it, everyone, we completely 100% beat COVID. It's great.
We got it.
We sure didn't. I certainly got it.
I mean, it kind of. I mean, this not to praise governments sort of going lax on restrictions and anything, but I think what's opening my eyes a bit is that I was a little bit suckered in last summer, thinking, what, maybe we kind of did this because we've all got vaccinated and everyone's just rolling up, and like the numbers are going down in the summer, and Omicron wasn't even a thing yet. And I was kind of thinking maybe this is how it ends. It's just sort of like a boom. It sort of ends, but it doesn't. It fades out. It is a big, long fade out. And this is hopefully part of the fade
Half the world is not vaccinated yet, which is our fault, frankly. So
that's true. Yep. I'm not even sure they're checking on that. But just reading the thing on Variety.com is where they had this story about the guidance no longer instructs producers to assign an appropriately trained COVID-19 health and safety supervisor to the production. That's something I've gotten used to as well, seeing COVID
in the credits.
people in the credits and stuff. That might not be a thing. Social distancing, so there might be crowd scenes back at Doctor Who again, which is or any TV
RTD
production.
did love his crowd scenes.
Did a little bit. So there. that is something that will embrace the new production team on Doctor Who. The Sci-Fi London is a film festival happening in London on May 21st, or the weekend thereof. And Doctor Who Am I? The film by Matthew Jacobs that has been years in the makings. So much so that I'm in it. I'm in this.
Yeah,
And
he
that
was
was
at
from
LI Who, right?
From 2015, LI Who, right?
That was LI Who 2015.
Wow.
Finally, it's having its official world premiere May 21st at London Sci-Fi Con at 4:15 p.m. So check it out. I've never seen it. I've only seen the trailer. There's a trailer and such, and I've seen a couple clips here and there. But yeah, a part of it was shot at LI Who. I have no idea how things have changed.
Or if.
I did speak to Matthew a few months ago, actually. I was on one of Paul Booth's virtual meetups for his Doctor Who class that he does in Illinois. And he was a guest for the TV movie, and I didn't think he'd remember me, and he did, which is nice. And he says, "Yeah, you're in the movie." So, because at LI Who, I moderated a panel with him where we basically watched scenes from the Gunfighters, which his grandpa was in, and
cool.
And then playing Doc Holliday, and then I would ask him about it basically. So that was our main thing. So whether I'm in it or not remains to be seen. But the premiere of it will be at Sci-Fi.
You may turn out to be Vam, which I think you'd prefer.
That would be great. I'll be like Garrick Hagan in Star Wars, another Canadian who was left on the cutting room floor of a.
Is that Biggs?
That is Biggs Darklighter.
Yeah, but he got put back in though.
Yes, he
So
did.
when Matthew does the special edition of Who Am I, then you'll be reinstated.
I'll be reinstated.
And Rita will somehow shoot first as well.
And a CG Jabba the Hutt. And Dewbacks. Don't forget the Dewbacks.
Yeah.
Who could forget the Dewbacks?
Who can?
And Rontos. Yeah, that's enough of this.
I'm like 80% of the way through Skywalker Saga, Lego Star Wars right now, which is a huge investment of time. But there are no Dewbacks in it. At least not that I've seen.
Just throw that game out.
I haven't
It's
seen any
absolute
yet.
garbage. Dewback erasure. That's what this is.
That seems alarming. Wow.
There might be something running around Mos Eisley or something. I don't know. I haven't paid that close attention. But
I finished the story and I just dip in, do 2 missions, and dip back out. That's what it's for now.
I haven't played it a week and a half. It's stretching my levels of completionism to new levels, and I don't know if I have it in me. I don't know.
I'm playing it and Elden Ring. So when Elden Ring gets to be a bit much, which is every 10 minutes, I go back to Lego Star Wars.
Yeah. Anyway, let's have a look in the archives. I don't know what the annals of history here in the it's our weekly segment. It's the time lapse. That's what I'm stumbling around here as I found the audio file to play.
The annals of history.
The time where we look back at history and see what happened, basically what was broadcast this day in history. May the 8th, 2022, Ncuti Gatwa was announced as the new Doctor Who. That's where we were. Remember where we were at that time? We were right here.
In front of our computers, as per usual.
Yeah, 45 minutes ago. So May 8th, Mother's Day in North America. Not Mothering, and Australia too. Not Mothering Sunday though. Mothering Sundays in the UK, and it's like in March or something like that. I think.
It's March. Yeah, I thought they called it Mother's Day. Oh, okay.
I think they call it Mothering Sunday.
I always heard it referred to as Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mothering Sunday.
March.
Mothering Sunday sounds like an exclamation. Ah, Mothering Sunday, they scored. Ah.
Yeah.
It sounds like how you say to not swear around older people.
Mothering Sunday.
And then they get offended for some religious reason.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to say that for now. Mothering Sunday. Let's see here. What happened this week in history that's worth talking about?
Nothing today.
Yeah, May 8th, part 3 of the Space
Vampires of
Museum.
Venice. Vampires of Venice.
Vampires of Venice, 2010.
I did not like that when it first came out, and then I grew to enjoy it a lot more on subsequent viewings.
Yeah. Oh, because Matt's just great in it, for one.
Yes.
Like, oh, he's so good in that first season. I mean, he's great as Doctor Who, but he's so good in that first season. The late Helen McCrory's in that, who sadly died last year at a far too young age, playing, I remember seeing a clip of that on, it might have been Jonathan Ross, about
Yes.
the when he's talking about the buxom vampire ladies and stuff. And I just thought, what a quirky
my
doctor.
overriding memory is, and me being stupid, frankly, because the father, I can't remember the name of the actor, but he's wearing that T-shirt for Rory and Amy's wedding, or wedding to be, or
Rory's stag do?
Yes, and so a part of me was like, that's hilarious, and part of me was like, well, that's an anachronism and it shouldn't happen. And then part of me was very ashamed of myself for even thinking that.
But then he was blown up in a dynamite explosion,
Yeah,
so it
great.
was fine.
Which is probably an even bigger anachronism.
I don't know the actor's name, but he played a pirate boat captain in Game of Thrones later after that.
Oh, right, he did, yes.
He did, yeah. Can't remember his
Take
name.
your word for that one.
Yeah, I know you never saw Game of Thrones.
Oh,
House
Well,
of
there's
the
a whole new
Dragon.
show for you to ignore.
House
so.
of the Dragon, yeah, starring Matt
Yep.
Smith. They had a
That's
trailer
okay.
for that coming out, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
He's got white hair. I mean, yeah.
He's a
Well,
dark
Game of
haired
Thrones is like Avatar. It's like it's coming back, and I'm like, I don't have any feelings whatsoever, good or bad. I liked watching Game of Thrones, but I have
Right.
not thought of Game of Thrones since.
Yeah.
Maybe you will now that Matt Smith
Maybe
is in
we'll
it.
see.
You know,
I guess.
yeah.
I'm not even being negative here. I'm just kind of like nonplussed.
Warren, you're being yourself, and yourself
That's
is now 51 and a half years old, and you're
I've been like this since I was 10, so okay.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? I
Even
think there was a
51 and
brief
a half
bit of
since you were 10.
I think there's a bit of optimism in there at some point, but
Well, it's squashed, long since squashed.
yeah, I suppose so. But William
We haven't-
Hartnell
we haven't-
returns from his 2-week holiday on May the 9th, 1964, in episode 5 of The Keys of Marinus, Sentence of Death, which is a very exciting episode wherein I think there's is this the one with spousal abuse? I think there is spousal abuse. in this episode.
Because that's
Wow,
leading to
so-
the trial. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
an interesting definition of very exciting.
Yeah, it's like Fiona Walker's character is on the phone or something, and they think that she's hiding something. And so Barbara leaves and then listens on the door, and she gets hit, and everyone just reacts like it's normal because 1960s, baby, that's what you do.
Yeah, great, wonderful.
Yeah. Anyway, William Hartnell back from. Oh, but what about this? May 9th, 1970, Inferno, Part 1.
Pretty
airs.
sure this is my favorite Pertwee of all time.
It's tough to argue with that, isn't it? It's so
It's
good.
phenomenal, and it goes 7 episodes, and it goes by like
Seven.
bam. It's like War Games fast.
Ridiculous. It's so honestly, let's face it. I think all of us have a little bit, and when I say all of us, I mean every single Doctor Who fan out there as well. The John Pertwee era sort of like go, all right, because it's not all season 7. You know, like it doesn't
Yeah.
carry
Yeah,
on
that's
for
true.
what
That's
season
true.
7
There's
is.
some
It's
there's
like,
some there's some good ones in there, but yeah, you're right.
Oh, but God, season.
But thankfully, not everything is the time monster either.
Good
No,
point.
but
Yes.
Everything's very chummy for after that, and that's what they wanted it to do to make it a little more accessible. But God, geez,
I always forget that it is arguably the worst multi-doctor story, except maybe 2 doctors.
what 3 doctors? I love 3 doctors.
3 doctors
but
is
it's-
not great. No, it's
Oh.
not good. I mean, it's great to
Yeah.
see the 2 of them bantering back and forth, but other than that,
Right.
it's not good.
But Inferno, I remember watching Inferno, and like it starts off with the lava stuff and
Oh, and
John-
the opening titles.
Just
Yeah.
so good.
yeah,
It's
last
also the
time.
first. It's also the first time in the Pertwee era we see the console, if memory serves.
Nope,
And it feels like-
Ambassadors of
And the
Death.
Ambassadors?
Episode
I think
1.
what I love
okay.
about it is the slow buildup
My bad.
into pure chaos. Like it you feel dread watching it, even though it's cheap sets and all the rest of Doctor Who.
I
You
know.
actually feel like, oh, this is actually bad. Really, they're doomed.
What really plays into it, and obviously things go a bit pear-shaped dramatically in the episodes to come, but the fact that Douglas Campfield had an imaginary spat with Dudley Simpson years ago, and Simpson was by this point pretty much the de facto composer for Doctor Who, led to Douglas Campfield, who was scheduled to direct all of this episode, of course had to bow out because of his heart condition, but he used stock music, mostly 1 or 2 bits of Gilly Derbyshire's stuff from the Radiophonic Workshop. And that combined with the ever-present sound, just the low rumble of the drill.
Oh yeah, that
Just-
really works too. Yeah.
The audio landscape of this episode, I think, is what really sells it. You just get the sense of, as you say, Warren, just overriding
Mhm.
building doom. That
Futility,
you don't have Dudley Simpson plonking on an early version of a Moog synthesizer
Mhm.
trying to underscore it. Everything is underscoring it already. such a good story.
It's like that movie you love, The China Syndrome, which has no soundtrack whatsoever.
Soundtrack whatsoever. It's just
Also, I
sound
don't think it's in
or
episode
lack
1,
of
but that interrogation scene is pretty intense for old Doctor
It
Who.
is not episode 1. Yeah, it's like 3 or 4. I can't remember which one, but anyway, Inferno, my heavens. I think
Yes.
if you had to name the best Doctor Who story for each decade, I think that takes the 70s for me. I think it does.
Really?
I think it does.
I still prefer Ambassadors of Death, but
I love it too.
You'd put Ark of Space behind.
Yeah, there's a
Ark of
lot of
Space
Tom
behind
Baker
Inferno?
stuff that I'd put in here too. So,
I would. Inferno is just so good.
Okay, or
but
City of
Pertwee
Death.
wise, excellent.
City of Death behind Inferno.
Yep. I mean,
Okay.
here's the thing about this is why we love Doctor Who. Like people say, oh, I know that some people say don't like Earthshock for instance. So they go, oh, that's not proper Doctor Who. Well, what is proper Doctor Who?
Whatever it wants to be, damn it.
Inferno and City of Death are both absolutely brilliant in their own ways and completely different from each other. It's great.
Well, I don't even like the McCoy era. I'm never going to say it's not proper Doctor Who because it is. It's just not what I
Right.
like.
All Doctor Who is proper Doctor Who. Full stop.
Full stop. It's its own spin-off, which is
You hear that scream of the Schalke fans?
Let's see here. What do we got? Looking ahead. Oh goodness me.
The Doctor's daughter.
Here we go, folks. This is, we're into the doldrums here. For the next 3 weeks in Series 4 history. Just yes, the Doctor's Daughter, May 10th, 2008.
Hey,
Boyle.
it worked out for Tennant. I mean,
Watched it recently. It's not any better. It doesn't get better.
I still adore the concept behind it, like the fact that they were there for such a compressed amount of time, but they don't realize it.
It's not
And-
executed well though.
And
the
like
concept.
the clues with things like the numbers on the doors and things like that. Like there's a story there that could work.
Yeah,
It
I do
just
like how Donna
doesn't.
figures it
Yeah.
out for sure, and I also like Tennant does a pretty good speech about Gallifrey that I seem to recall being decent. But other than that,
I feel like almost like RTD came up with the pre-credit scene and then passed it off and saying, here you go, work with it. Like what happens is, and they really rush through it. It's such a rushed pre-credit scene just to get to the bit where Georgia
Moffat at the time,
of course, comes on and says, hello, Dad. And like, oh, and they're sort of using it as like the middle season tent pole essentially. And at the time, and maybe even now, it feels like they're kind of grasping at straws. I don't know. It just felt like
it made for good trailer.
apparently
Also,
it
it's
made
got-
for a good trailer, not a good.
it's got that whole Doctor Who thing of being unjustifiably triumphant, and you're like, I'm not with you on this one show.
Yeah.
Although I do like to think that she was rocketing towards the big Finnish offices at the end.
Oh, definitely. Well, it was Moffat who
Which she
said,
did.
You know what? Yeah, Stephen Moffat who suggested, wait a second, why are you killing her off? You should just have her.
Yeah.
You kill everyone off, make her live. And so, guess what? I'm still alive. Now off
mean,
on a rocket ship, never to be seen again.
It wasn't the worst story ever. It just was kind of meh, essentially.
It's
I
down
don't
there.
know.
I'm not going to look up to see where it finished in the
Oh, don't bother.
Doctor Who magazine poll, but I'm sure it was somewhere toward the bottom.
Somewhere towards the bottom. Yeah, it seems that their live chat is agreeing with us on that.
Wheel
What
in
else happened?
Wheel in space. I mean, that's the thing.
Episode 3, it exists. Hey, it exists.
You
Yeah.
can watch that one.
We can watch that one. Speaking of doctors returning from holidays, Patrick Troughton, actually he was back in episode 2. But he's still lying. I don't think Patrick Troughton leaves the hospital bed once during this whole episode. He has the easiest time of it.
I don't think I've watched it since Lost in Time came out in 2000.
Oh,
whenever that came
please,
out.
you're missing
Wow.
out. You're missing
Gotta do
out.
your 20th anniversary rewatch
Yeah.
Yeah,
of the watching
yeah.
in 2024.
What a wow! What a day! What a day in history! May the 11th is, folks. We got the Wheel in Space episode 3, which exists. That's pretty much all that it has going for it. We've got Planet of the Spiders episode 2, mostly famous
Which also
for
exists.
mostly famous for the massive chase sequence in episode 2 that
Oh yeah,
results in nothing.
That means next week we would talk about episode 3 and Jenny Laird.
Yay!
The pinnacle of today in history, Nightmare in Silver.
I'm
Nightmare in
renaming
Silver.
May 11th Stinktown in honor of these
May
three.
11th, 20. It's we've talked about this a lot on this podcast, but it's worth talking about again. We've been on quite a journey with Nightmare in Silver because I remember hearing rumblings before it even aired, thinking, "Oh, this is not good," and then we watched it and it wasn't good. And then immediately after it airs, Edward Russell, the brand manager of Doctor Who, tweets out, "Yeah, we probably should have taken another pass at that."
Wow. That's some Brad managing right there.
That's amazing. And so like,
And
so
then-
it has, and then I'm sure you're going to say, Chris, when you and I went to go see Day of the Doctor.
Day of the Doctor. Yep.
In the theaters on November 23rd of that year. And for some reason, the Cineplex in Edmonton let some local Doctor Who fans plug in their iPad,
Which
to
seems crazy to me.
to the screen, and they watch Doctor Who on their iPad, building up to the
Lovely, lovely pirated copies of Doctor Who.
pirated copies of it, and they were just rolling through Series 7B, and Nightmare in Silver was on there, and everyone was laughing and having a good time, and so was I.
Well, we
Yeah.
watched Sleep No More with an audience, and it was better with an audience.
Yeah. Who are we? Who are we to complain about Doctor Who?
Well, yeah. We are who we are. That's why we complain about Doctor Who.
May 12th. May 12th is notable because there's only one episode of Doctor Who that aired that date, Planet of the Daleks, episode 6.
Stop, don't
But
move.
what's more notable is the fact that in 2007, there was Doctor Who the week before and Doctor Who the week after. But thanks to Eurovision, there was no Doctor Who on May 12th,
How dare they.
2007.
Banish Eurovision forever.
Was that the first time of 2 times that Eurovision completely
I think maybe, yeah.
That I recall, yes. Yeah.
postponed?
Because I know,
Doctor Who?
for whatever reason, 2008 sticks out in my mind a lot more for the gap week
Yeah, we'll
than
talk about that.
2007.
But yeah,
But, we'll get to that in a few weeks.
we will. I wonder if that actually, if they thought, did that jigger around with their release schedule? Like they didn't want to split up a 2-parter, and so did they plan it that way? I don't know. I don't know how it worked, but anyway, there was no Doctor Who on May 12th. Notice how much we think of Planet of the Daleks.
Wow,
episode 6,
that's just pretty low.
We're talking about the fact
Much-
that there's no Doctor Who on a thing.
Much like Wheel in Space Episode 3, it exists.
Is it?
That's the highest praise you can give Planet of the Daleks.
Yeah,
It
can't
exists.
take that away from it. Let's
Oh,
see
yes,
here.
I can. I'm going to go wipe it
Yeah,
now.
I know you can. Ben and Polly officially leave the TARDIS on May 13th, 1967, in episode 6, The Faceless Ones. I say officially leave because they were gone by episode 3, if not episode 2, because they're written out, but they were already in a pre-film sequence saying, well, guess what? You're here, now go away. And so they did. The end of The Faceless Ones.
On the longest day in Doctor Who history,
Yeah.
July 20th, 1966.
It is. Here's an interesting thing on my daily Doctor Who watch. I am watching this episode tonight, May 13th, 1972, episode 6 of The Mutants.
Mutants isn't as bad as everybody makes
That's
it.
a coincidence. I've always enjoyed the Mutants.
It's not.
didn't.
It goes on a little long, but it's still pretty good.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't at the time, but I like all Doctor Who. Let's face it. Even
Well,
Nightmare in
what a
Silver,
shock.
apparently. So I know.
Yeah. Nostalgia is a powerful drug.
Easily pleased. That's your
No.
middle name.
I don't know. Actually, when I first watched it, it was one of the stories where I thought this is dumb. There's dumb parts in this, and I don't like it. So
I think the biggest thing about Nightmare in Silver was Neil Gaiman, quote unquote, wrote it.
oh, he
He
did.
lost it, didn't he? Lose it?
Oh
in
no,
the
that's
cat?
right. This is the one he did write. Doctor's
did
Wife.
write,
He
yeah,
less so,
Doctor's
that's
Wife.
that's the way
feels
around
like-
it was.
Yeah.
And the expectations of it were just so massive, and
Yeah.
and the disappointment was matching it.
Let's go move to the modern series though. 2006, Rise of the Cybermen. The Cybermen return.
This
May
is a pretty good
13th,
intro to the
2006.
Cybermen.
I think
But
the
also-
intro shot, the Graham Harper shot of them walking into focus.
Mhm.
Even though we'd have already seen them, pictures of them and stuff. But
Also,
thought
all
that
the
was
alternate history stuff or alternate universe stuff was pretty cool at the time, as I recall.
it's a week for that apparently with Inferno.
Oh, yeah, good point.
With Zeppelins. You're in alternate history if there are Zeppelins.
Yes.
floating around.
And disgusting cola drinks or whatever it was that Pete was shilling that actually worked.
Oh yeah, that's right. Haven't really done much of alternate history, which I'm okay with, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, I can't. Other than those two examples, there's probably another one, but I can't think of one off the top. of my
yeah,
head.
but there's no prolonged mirror universe. Like honestly, even when DS9 went to the mirror universe, I thought this is dumb. Let's just get back to the real universe. This is dumb.
It was
And then-
fun to do once in
was-
TOS. They didn't really need to do it
Yes.
again.
Oh,
but-
That was an idea that was far too played out by that point.
Oh,
Sergio.
and then
and
Discovery
just
immediately
oh,
goes
come
there,
on.
and I think I don't even know what
Twice,
you're doing.
2 different
Yeah.
times.
Oh, God. Did not like. So this is okay as I bang my table.
we got
Oxygen was-
we got a Roger Lloyd Pack in there.
The weirdest performance. And how are you going to do that from beyond the grave?
It's kind of
What a-
fun though. Come on,
What a weird performance. And by weird, I mean
still, it's still fun though.
it's bad. It's odd.
Colin Spall was in that one. One of the first, if not the first, classic person to do classic and new Who.
No, it was the cat from Bad Wolf. Not Bad Wolf, Boomtown. First scene of Boomtown. The guy gets killed in the cabinet meeting with Margaret Lane. He was in Torchwood later on, playing Gwen's dad, but he was also in Remembrance of the Daleks. So he, I believe, was the first.
Did he? I don't remember him having much of a role in
yeah,
that
No,
though.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, understand that this is all I watch, folks. This is all I watch and read about
Yep.
is Doctor Who.
Right.
I've never seen Sex Education. Everyone has seen Sex Education. I have no idea, but I can tell you that a cat from Remembrance of the Daleks was in Boomtown.
Well, it is a marketable skill on this podcast and nowhere else.
This is it. Find your niche. That's my advice to you. After 15 and a half years of podcasting, find your niche and go with it. It's mine. Oxygen 2017,
Excellent.
May
Excellent,
13th.
excellent, excellent.
Yep, Jamie Matheson's to date final Doctor Who script. That was great. That was a good story where Doctor Who goes
Properly
blind.
scary too. Yeah.
That was proper scary, wasn't it? Remember the
That walk in space with no helmet is pretty intense.
it's intense. Even the because we don't hear Elbow. That's a good story. I gotta watch
And the
Series
fact
10 again.
they're not zombies, but they're able to use all the zombie tropes despite that, which is really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I love the concept of high concepts and stories, and you know the suits walking the corpses around. Just that's so creepy.
How close are we to them charging us for air? I'm pretty sure we're like about 10 years away from this on Earth.
Well, man, get a bottle of water at an airport. We're already halfway there.
Yeah, exactly. Or go to a movie and pay for any food,
That's true.
which is not a new phenomenon, though.
No, $7 for a bag of popcorn. Are you kidding me? Come on.
But they're all aren't they all like? I haven't gone to the movies in years, obviously, but aren't like bags of popcorn now like you can get free refills on them?
No idea. I never
What
get popcorn at
magical
the
world
movies,
is
so-
this? What
Yeah.
magical world is this? 'Cause
I think it's just a draw to get people back to the cinemas.
That's
I would-
a bad idea.
I would do that. There's a new Marvel movie out apparently, and maybe I would go.
I have
and
seen it. It is
see
fun.
that. Oh, is it? Okay. And maybe I just go there. If they had refillable popcorn, I would
I'm pretty sure that's
willingly
the case.
walk out.
I don't know if it's every
Oh,
theater,
just
every
speaking
chain.
of COVID, I was the only person wearing my mask in the theater. Only person. But I wore it to the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Here's the thing that's back to COVID, which is everyone's favorite topic, is that it's giving me hope is, in a cynical way, is that we are doing our absolute best to drive up COVID numbers, and they're actually going down. And, you know, that's impressive in and of itself.
Thank
Try
you to
harder,
science.
everyone.
Thank
are
you to
doing-
science.
Nothing. It's like no masks, no restrictions, everyone do whatever you want. And the numbers aren't even rising. God, we got to try harder at that.
Well, crossed fingers.
Yeah,
I interact with people as little as possible,
that's
and
true.
have done for quite a while, and I enjoy that. But I
Yeah, I'm
I have a
myself.
I have a planned trip to the United Kingdom of Great Britain
Right.
and
2
Northern
months.
Ireland in a couple months' time.
Not for much
and,
longer, Northern Ireland, possibly.
And I am leery of international travel and
You'll be fine.
stuff like
You'll
that.
be fine.
There you go.
I
Noted
forgot-
scientician Stephen Shapansky says you'll be fine. So you'll
I
be
know.
fine.
With a bad Scottish accent.
I forgot to mention May the 12th, just because I looked at May the 14th. May the 14th, 1996, the Doctor Who TV movie premiered on the Tuesday night movie on Fox. May the 12th, the Sunday previous, had its world premiere on ITV, the
I watched
TV
it.
station that I watched it live in Red Deer at a friend's place in Red Deer. And little did I know that in a year's time, I don't have it on me right now, I would obtain the tape label from the world premiere cassette that it aired on. I should have, to this day, I wish I would have taken both 1-inch masters and just taken them. But I was brand new to the TV station, ITV.
To this day, I wish I had been a thief.
Oh, I could have had them. I could have had the original.
I would feel
Right?
the same, honestly.
You don't have to have any means of playing them. I mean,
No, that's
have-
true. Yeah. Should have took
It's like Kane with the ice statue. You know, it exists. That is enough.
And just kill the person who recorded it. Kill Kevin Booth. Ah, you're dead. So there. Anyway, how many years is that? That's 26 years.
26 years ago, yes, you watched it in Red Deer. I've told the story before. A number of us from the Edmonton and the Edmonton Doctor Who group went to international Doctor Who superstar Dave Yadley's house and watched it then.
Boy.
I would like to point out, and I wasn't living at home at the time, I don't think, by 1996. But I was, as befits a Doctor Who fan, I remember watching it at home alone in my parents' basement. So I think that's the way you're supposed to do it.
That is the way. You know, like, hey, do you want to gather around and watch it? No, this is Doctor Who. Mom, I need to watch this alone because I've always watched this alone.
And always will.
I know. I'll tell you what, watching it alone for the first time helped me because 10 days later, I would watch it with people. I'm talking about Father's Day, which aired on May 14th.
Excellent.
2005. Excellent. The first Doctor Who story I ever openly cried while watching. And that's why I was happy to do it on my own so that I could get my emotions out before watching.
Get ready for RTD2 because he's a master of the waterworks, let me tell you.
Getting ready to watch it 10 days later with friends on CBC because, of course, CBC was airing it 10 days after original broadcast.
Right. I forgot about that.
Which at the time was like, holy crap, what a turnaround. Yeah, Father's Day. What a great story. What a great story. My word. That's we talked all about it in Paul Cornell's Miniscope a few months ago.
Yes,
but,
it's very good.
Yeah.
And I forget how good it is till I watch it again. I'm like, oh, wow, this is really well put together.
It is really well put together. It's I mean, Sean Dingwall's amazing in it. I think Joe Ahern's directing is excellent. But
they're all great. The entire cast is great.
It is, and my favorite scene is when Sean Dingwall's looking out the window and sees the car going around the block and disappearing and returning again, and you could just see in his face that he's just like he realizes what he has to do, and there's not a single word said.
It's excellent. Yeah, he does a great job.
Yeah, Lesser TV would be going, I have to stop this, like it would be some dumb talking to himself monologue.
By Lesser TV, you mean all other TV in your estimation?
There's a lot of TV. I saw it in Star Trek Picard a couple weeks ago. Okay,
fair enough. Yes.
Like, what's her name is Googling who her father is, and she keeps telling, I have to stop this. There are other people. Thanks for narrating.
I remember reading somewhere that the reason you see a lot of people reading stuff off a screen, like out loud, is because the movie goes, or the people make the movie are like, well, not everybody's literate or reads fast, and that's why they do that.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, he didn't have to explain, wait a second, that car keeps disappearing. Do that.
Yeah, I mean, also the flip side of that is you could be illiterate or and still pick up what he's putting down there without having to say a word. So
because it's got pictures.
It's got pictures, moving pictures. Yeah. And
talked about the Doctor's Wife earlier, and
it has risen in my estimation, and I always liked it, but
May 14th, 2011.
I think it was the hype train was just a bit much at the time.
Well, because Neil Gaiman was writing for Doctor Who, and that was the big draw.
Was he though? It's got a great ending. Like I love the ending. So like with Idris. I just want to say hello. That part's fantastic.
It is fantastic. I mean,
there's some good touching moments in there.
Yeah. I mean, it was
and of course everyone lost their bleep with the Corsair, thinking, oh, we're gonna get a new Time Lord in here.
Yeah.
Nope. Also, I love the junk TARDIS. That whole sequence is great.
That was cool.
It was Blue Peter.
I mean, it was Doctor. I think I'm trying to think here of like sort of superstar writers, which is kind of what Moffat sort of went. Like he went with Frank Cottrell Boyce,
Neil Cross.
Neil Cross, like going for like sort of big name writers to bring in. Richard Curtis, obviously.
Richard Curtis, big time, yeah.
And this was another one. Like this is like everyone sort of Neil Gaiman should write for Doctor Who, and it was treated as like a tentpole. You know, Neil Gaiman writing Doctor Who, so much so that they threw the Curse of the Black Spot in between the two-parter and this, just to sort of like bury it, because they knew they had a tentpole in the Doctor's Wife, and people are still talking about the Doctor's Wife. And
it's good.
It's good, but not great. I know some people really, really love it.
It's okay. Yeah, it's got some really good elements for sure.
Got some really good elements, just like many things here in This Week in Doctor Who History in the Time Lash. Now with the rest of the episode, everyone, where we read about stuff, mostly audio stuff. Dominic Glynn, who of course did the theme tune for Doctor Who for the Trial of a Time Lord, and did
best theme tune ever.
Chris really loves it. I love it too.
One of my favorite ones.
It's top of my list. Yep.
Howl is still my favorite.
Did music as well, of course, for several Doctor Who stories from 86 through 89. He is putting out his CD versions of his remixes. They've apparently sold out, but he has some on his Facebook page and Twitter. We've linked his Twitter bio and pinned tweet in the show notes at radiofreeskaro.com. You can get signed copies of the CD remixes from Dominic Glynn. I have one. He gave one to me at a convention many moons ago, Gallifrey One, when he was there. I cherish it. So there, if you would like signed copies of his CD remixes of like the Happiness Patrol and the Dragonfire, and the Ravolox remixes of from Trial of a Time Lord as well, those are the three that he's got. You can reach out to him on Twitter and Facebook. Also, this is exciting, and don't you think for a second that I haven't thought about this.
No, I know you have.
Dominic Glynn is on eBay, is selling his old Korg M1 synthesizer, the very synthesizer he used to create the score of Survival. On his Facebook page, he played various bits of the soundtrack on the keyboard, and yeah, that's the sound. Those are the sounds.
So
it's honestly going for pretty cheap, as far as I can tell.
I know. I thought Korg M1s would be like thousands of dollars, but like
not to mention a Korg M1 that actually played Doctor Who music.
Right? I know. So
now I'm not going to get one because Livestream. I've got one of these, an $80 piece of junk.
Oh, I got.
And I've used it all of twice.
Right.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
No. You're gonna say, Chris?
Well, I just wonder, like, are the samples still loaded into it from?
I think
Survival?
they are. I think the sounds are still loaded into it, so you could get that. You could recreate the soundtrack of Survival if you pick up the Korg on eBay. Anyway, if you're interested in that,
Chrome is choosing to render the page incredibly poorly for me for eBay. So what's it going for? What's the cost? You said it's
going
not too
right
much?
now, as of last report, it's going for £643.
Okay. So what's that, about $1,000 Canadian?
About that, I don't know what is the exchange rate thanks to Brexit. I don't know what that is. It would, let me tell you, it would cost a pretty penny to ship it to Canada. Were I to be
$1,024 says Spotlight.
There you go. That's nothing for a keyboard, and it's a keyboard that created a Doctor Who score. I mean,
yeah, I would never use it. I would just
Who.
keep it in a holy place.
I know. I should go.
Which is probably not what Dominic Glynn's doing.
No,
he's just like, it's probably just sitting in his garage somewhere.
Yeah, this should be in a museum. That's what it should be. Just like the that cross thing that River Phoenix,
or perhaps in a Doctor Who exhibition.
Maybe in a let's get that thing back. It should be playing on an auto loop. Someone should buy it and then put it in the Doctor Who exhibition whenever it comes back, and it just like rotates around like a player piano playing.
Remember the replica Eighth Doctor TARDIS that I think console that showed up at Gallifrey One? It should be part of the console.
That is the real.
That is a real one because that was bought, all right. The props were sold off and bought by whomever.
Okay.
And,
yeah, I can't
well then jam it into that console for no good reason. Or honestly, you could jam it into the first Smith console and it would fit right in. So
yeah, or the one is seen in The Doctor's Wife. So
that's true.
That's true. Other stuff. Speaking of exhibitions and stuff, Doctor Who Worlds of Wonder exhibition opens in where is it? In Liverpool this summer.
Yeah, from 27th of May. Apparently, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty soon.
It's just a loop of the footage of the Beatles on Doctor Who.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
You're not thinking of making it up to Liverpool, are you, Chris? When you go to the UK?
No, probably not. No,
No. It's a bit of a trek, you know.
it's a hike. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are. Well, we're going to Manchester for a day for a concert, which is obviously not that far from Liverpool.
You
but
guys live in
I doubt we'll
Alberta.
make the
Driving to
side trip.
Calgary is driving across England. So come on now.
I know, but you know the roads on they're not that windy. They have carriage. I still like calling them carriageways, but I don't know which highways lead everywhere in the UK. But you know, Chris doesn't drive, and they drive on the wrong side of the road in the UK.
It's true.
so it would
Wrong. Not opposite. Wrong.
be dangerous.
Shame on you, England.
Yeah.
If it's not the right side, it's the wrong side. So
Nothing England has done ever in the history of England has been bad except for that.
Their worst crime.
Exactly.
The Radiophonic Workshop. Oh, that's exciting, actually. So, as I said before, I haven't opened any of these things up. So I'm essentially, because the Ncuti Gatwa news sort of took over this podcast. We were going to have a light, lazy podcast about speculation about announcements, and then we woke up to Ncuti Gatwa as being the new Doctor Who. The Radiophonic Workshop is playing. I'm reading this for the first time. The Ronson Theatre. Where's that? London? Is that in London somewhere?
at the Science Museum.
Oh, the Scientarium. The Science.
Yep.
Yeah.
The local Scientology office. That's where it's playing.
Yeah.
The Scientology building is not that far from the museum district in London, actually.
Nothing to do with Scientology.
No,
thankfully.
Or one of them. There's multiple
Yeah.
Scientology buildings, but the main one that I can think of.
Yeah, they're doing a show. They're doing a show with Stealing Sheep Friday, October 7th. So tickets are available now. That would be cool. That's still a thing. I mentioned in a past episode that Erica and I are intending on going to Regenerations in Swansea next September 2023 for a convention there because it's returning. And, you know, it would be to have other Doctor Who events around at the same time. It would be really cool if a Radiophonic Workshop were like doing a show at some point because that would be an experience to see live. That would
Just
be
for
really
your
cool.
benefit.
Just for me and my benefit. Yeah.
The John Levine and Katie Manning were just announced for Regenerations, I believe.
Where are they really? Well, that's
Yeah.
Cool. I have no idea what's going to be. All I know is I've never really been to a proper Doctor Who convention in the UK, apart from the one day at Derby that Warren and I went to, where they talked to the late great Michael Pickwoad. So
But that was an evening with. It wasn't really a convention.
It was an evening with. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a Chinese meal, a succulent Chinese meal with Michael Pickwoad, one of the
What a lovely
greatest
fellow and
designers.
his lovely wife as well.
Yeah. Maybe a similar experience awaits us in Swansea, in Wales.
Yeah. Experiences will certainly await you, yes.
Let's end with some Big Finish stuff. Big Finish audio novels. The Dead Star is due January of next year, January 2023. It's a Patrick Troughton era novel.
With Ben and Polly.
With Ben and Polly, who left this week in history in The Faceless Ones.
To go into this. That was the
yeah.
whole continuity right there.
Yeah, written by Kate Orman as well.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So there you go. That is for January of 2023. That's the audio novel read by Michael Troughton, who, of course, now has taken over the role of the Second Doctor in the Second Doctor Adventures for Big Finish. The Fifth Doctor Adventures continue in April. We're into this. I love it when Big Finish announces stuff for over a year away. I love it. It's really cool. Which is the Fifth Doctor Adventures Conflicts of Interest come out in April 2023.
And it's probably
Burying the
recorded
lead
2
here.
years
Who's in
ago.
it? The one true Borg Queen herself, Alice Cridge.
I know Alice Creech is in.
Probably.
I don't know how you pronounce her name.
I think it's Creech.
But
I think it's Creech.
just to
that's
to
Creech.
crap on Picard again, the one true Borg Queen.
Wow.
Any Worshing did okay.
She's fine. She's
She was
fine.
fine.
But Alice Creech can't be better. She's awesome
No.
in First Contact.
Yeah. And she was back in Voyager as well, wasn't she?
I don't remember.
No, I think they had someone. I think
Was
she
it
was in there for
somebody
one
else?
episode, and then it was someone else for the rest of them. I don't remember.
Okay.
Voyager, the road trip episode.
I've seen about 6 episodes of Voyager in my life.
I don't
That's enough.
see any.
I put them on in the background sometimes, and that's kind of where they should be.
Yeah.
Some people love them, so I'm not going to crap on that parade. I will crap on Picard, though. It done me wrong.
Moving on. Ninth Doctor Adventures Back to Earth is out now for Big Finish. You can get that on the BigFinish.com website. And lastly, from Big Finish, the annual Paul Sprague Short Trips competition is open. Closes at the end of June. This is where, of course, you can submit your idea for a one-off short story thing in honor of Paul Sprague. So yeah, many of I don't know the history of writers on this, but I know that some of them have certainly gone on to write a lot of things, including for
I
Big
think they
Finish,
have,
so,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that next person could be you. You could be that person, and submit your ideas. BigFinish.com. So there we go. That is it for our wee episode of this here Radio Free Skaro podcast. To recap, Ncuti Gatwa is the new Doctor Who, but maybe not the next Doctor Who.
Yeah. Don't ruin it. Come on.
We will see. We will see in the days and weeks to come, everyone. But happy days indeed. It's exciting to have a new Doctor in the fold in this grand old show that's rattling towards its 60th anniversary. So, all right, folks. Thanks for listening. Thanks everyone who joined us for the live stream as well. But until next time, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.
You've been listening to Radio Free Skaro. Find us online at radiofreeskaro.com. Follow us on Twitter and Tumblr at Radio Free Skaro. Subscribe to us on iTunes and donate to the show at patreon.com/Radio Free Skaro. Thank you.
With Rula Lenska reading out the credits. All right.
Good old
Thanks,
Rula.
everyone. Hope you enjoyed
Thank
that. For those of you who just missed it, this episode will probably be out still in half an hour. So,
And it'll be on YouTube in like 5 minutes, I think.
yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
awesome.
something like that.
Glad. Hope everyone enjoyed the episode. Hope everyone enjoys the new Doctor Who. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know when we'll do another live stream. I like doing these when big news drops, though. So
Well, presumably Jodie's last episode, you'd think.
oh yes, definitely that in
many
October.
months' time.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
October or
true.
September or whenever the hell it's happening. But we'll see what happens in the days and weeks to come. If there's something worth doing a live stream on, we'll do something. So anyway, until then, bye.